Helton. Like with the last session, please state your name and media outlet when asking a question. I'm going to start by asking Coach Helton how this week's been going. Can you elaborate on just how your experience has been with the Rose Bowl game?
One, very humbling, just to be a part of such a unique and special game. For our football team, I asked each one of our members of our team to raise their hands if they had been a participant in this game. And it was basically every player and 9 of the 10 full-time coaches. So this is a very unique experience for us to be a part of something so special, both the game and the activities, whether it's taking the team to Disneyland, go to the Lowry's Beef Bowl, having a really, really special dinner right there at the Rose Bowl with our wives. That was a nice date night for us as coaches. It's been truly a special event for us as a team, and very unique. We thank the Rose Bowl game as well as the Tournament of Roses committee for providing us a memory that we will never forget. And now we turn to the game. It's Thursday for us, a Thursday format, and getting ready for what should be a really, really exciting game.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. Please raise your hand and again state your name and media outlet. You have one in the back.
Jordan Canigliaro, WJAC. Good morning, Clay. I want to ask you about how does the Rose Bowl feel like a home game for you, being in your backyard, and just kind of, is that an advantage to not have to travel across the country and, where you have everything here and there's a feeling of normalcy for the team?
Well, I tell you what, it's been extremely comfortable for us to be able to wake up in the morning and go to our own home facility and basically spend the day there, to be able to get our meetings done, our practices done, and then come for the great events at night. So it has provided us with a little normalcy, a little bit of routine, which has been really nice. And obviously, you look at us and we've been having the great fortune of being successful in Los Angeles this year, whether it's at the Coliseum or at the Rose Bowl. It's been a great year for us in the city of Los Angeles. So whether it's advantage, I don't know that. I know just how comfortable I feel, and I think our kids feel, and hopefully that'll pay off for us January 2nd.
Question in the back row.
Coach Helton, Landon Stoller, WNEP TV in Scranton. Just curious what your thoughts are on what James Franklin's been able to do with Penn State.
Oh, outstanding. I tell you what, kind of being where they were at 2-2 and then run off 9 straight, and I think about the opponents and the big games that they were a part of, to go beat a very, very talented Ohio State team, and then to show up versus Wisconsin in the championship game and perform like they did, and show that to overcome the adversity that they did in that game, being down, just shows the resiliency of that team, and a tremendous leader in Coach Franklin of what he's been able to do this season, especially down the stretch.
I have a question right there.
Hi, Coach. Corey Massasak, Landon. I wondered what were some of your favorite memories of working with Brent Pry, and what it's like now trying to, looking at the film and seeing his defense?
Yeah. He's always been a dear friend. I love him as a person, and truly a great family man, and have the utmost respect for him as a coach. I had the great opportunity to work with him at Memphis, and he was always one of those you knew he was going to be a star in the profession. There was no question, though. His aggressive nature of style of defense that he loved, you just hoped that you never had to see one day, and now you're having to see it. He does a tremendous job of really putting the pressure and finding the weaknesses of your offense and putting the most pressure on you as you can. You can see that defensive unit getting better from game 1 to where they are now. Probably as good a team of getting to the quarterback as we faced this season. I think of both defensive ends with 6 sacks apiece, as well as all those linebackers and safeties that come. I don't know if I've ever seen a free safety have 102 tackles on a season. He's just done a tremendous job. I wouldn't expect anything less from the guy. He's a tremendous football coach.
Question from the middle.
Morning, Coach. Connor Glenn, Rose Bowl game. A lot of coaches, you have to go through the eyeball test. For viewers in the first 4 games, they kind of started counting you out. When did you realize that this team had the potential to be a Rose Bowl caliber team?
Utah, in that game. You know, as a head coach, you're always trying to see if your team is getting better week in and week out. And as bad as the Alabama game hurt, I thought there were some lessons that were learned in that game. And I asked myself, you know, have we improved from Alabama to Stanford to Utah? And the answer was yes. And we went to Utah in a hostile atmosphere with a rookie quarterback, and he performed extremely well as our football team. The fact of the matter is, you know, we had 2 fumbles at the quarterback position, one in the end zone and one on about the 20-yard line going in. That, you know, kind of cost us the game. It's those mistakes and those turnovers. We had 3 total turnovers in that game, but I walked away with the way that those kids had competed in that game and how they had improved and played for one another, and literally walked off the field. My heart hurt, but I was smiling inside because I knew that if they continued to compete like that and eliminate the mistakes, that they were going to do something special. And I told them in the locker room right after that how proud I was of them. I loved them, and I knew that if they kept on going like that, they'd look up in November and be really happy. Just try to stay poised, don't show panic, keep a coaching staff together and trying to improve our team. And you look up, and we were fortunate enough to run off 8 straight and being the granddaddy of them all.
We have a question up here.
Hi, Coach. Todd Sadowski, WPMT, Fox 43. There's a real interesting dynamic with you guys being a dominant first half team and then Penn State getting rolling after the break. Can you explain that at all, and how do you address that, I guess, as you're game planning when you're doing so well in the first half and they're doing so well in the second?
Yeah, definitely. You know, this could be a very different game than we've had in October and November. You look at the games that we've been a part of, and we've been up in the second half several times. So, you know, we've had to preach to our football team, this is a 60-minute game. You know, this could be an extremely close game. We may even be down, you know, so the situations, don't panic. Show the poise that you've shown. I'm hoping that Washington game that we had, where, you know, that was a tight game in the third quarter and then we kind of pulled away, hopefully that our guys learned those lessons. Because when you're talking about a Penn State team that puts up 37 points a game, and you look at what they do in the second half, just when you think you have enough, you better put 2 or 3 more up, or they're going to catch you. Anytime that you have those type of weapons with Trace, with Barkley, those big wideouts and tight ends, points are, you don't have enough points. So we've had to take that aggressive style in the Pac-12 because this league does score a lot of points. You have to be aggressive in the red zone. That means going forward on 4th down some, you know, instead of kicking field goals. And then this looks like that MO game again, that, you know, field goals aren't going to be good enough, especially when you got a team putting up 37 points a game.
We have a question from the riser in the back.
Morning, Coach. Juan Huerta with Tech from Norris back here. Going back to the Utah game, Justin Davis said yesterday that he realized Sam Darnold was their quarterback after the game for the leadership he showed after the game. Can you kind of speak on what he's meant to your program and kind of how you guys took off after the Utah game?
Yeah, you know, Sam has done such a tremendous job at a young age. I think his maturity of his game is exemplary at this stage of his career. You know, you think about a kid that was thrown, you know, into a 1-2 season, asked to go to Utah and to perform, and he did. We just lose a game in 16 seconds. With 16 seconds left on the clock, and then he comes back and he's able to run off 8 straight, really protecting the football, and I felt getting better and maturing with each game. His humbleness and humility is very, very rare. I'll never forget him going out and throwing 5 touchdown passes in a game, and I pull him out of the game late, and he comes over to me and says, "Sorry, Coach, I promise you I can do better next time. I'll get things right." He knew he made a couple mistakes, and you usually don't see that from a kid, you know. But he's a true perfectionist, and he's one of the huge reasons why we're having the success that we've had. You know, I've always said that if you've got a great quarterback, you got a great team, and that kid has really played great for us this year.
We have a question up on the left, and then we'll go up front.
Hey, Clay.
Hey, Zach.
Zach Helton, LA Times. It's a couple housekeeping questions for you. I saw Juju yesterday. Was kind of looked like he had some cold sweats and a fever. How's his health today, and how's the health of the rest of the team in general?
Yeah, we got a little bit of we all got a little bit of a cold right now. So we got the cold bug running through us right now. Juju's got it. He's on a Z-Pack right now, some antibiotics. Hopefully, with a couple of days. He did practice yesterday. As we know, he's a warrior. And we've got a couple other kids that are getting a little bit of a cold, as we've had a little bit of a wet winter here in LA. But nothing I don't think will hold anybody out.
Okay, we have a question up front.
Joey Kaufman, Orange County Register. Ronald Jones is a guy who's really picked it up toward the second half of the season. What was the turning point for him?
I thought his confidence really gained about halfway through the season, especially when Justin got hurt, and he knew that he was carrying a team on his shoulders. And I saw the play of both kids, both Rojo and Said Ware, just pick up tremendously over the second half of the season, because they knew it was on his shoulders while Justin was out. So, I'm so proud of Rojo. Not for everybody knows he's a great runner, but when you really look at where he is from day one, when he started at USC, to where he is now, he's become a better pass catcher out of the backfield. He's becoming a better third down pass protection guy. He's really becoming a more complete player and an every down player. Where when he first came, he was a kid that you knew you could hand the ball to. Now he can go play 60, 70 plays in a game, and he can function extremely well.
I have a question on the right.
Hi, Clay. Pat Principe with WGAL-TV. Given the success and the tradition with USC in the Rose Bowl, is there a feeling that you're kind of back where you belong? Because the players all seem to think that along those lines.
Yeah, I'm so proud for these seniors, because it's been a while for us. It's been 2009, and we all dreamed as coaches, as players, we dream about playing in this game as USC Trojans. And these kids were 10, 12 years old the last time USC has been in the Rose Bowl. So I'm so proud for them for bringing us back to what we feel is truly, truly special for our university. So it's one of those things that I know is special for our team to have the opportunity to be in our 34th appearance, try to be the 25th victorious football team. And for us, it's truly special. It doesn't happen very often. We've been playing football 124 years, and to have the victory bell, to have the shillelagh, which is the UCLA game, the Notre Dame game, and try to put a Rose Bowl trophy with that's only happened 12 times in 124 years. So they've got an opportunity to be a truly special team, and that's, I think, a huge thing for our team, a huge goal for our team as we move forward to this game.
Question, please raise your hand. Connor?
Coach Conlon again. You're a real enjoy the moment type guy. You've had the opportunity to play in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. But what is it that you're feeling going into this game that makes it so much more special?
Just the history of it. The game is iconic. It's bigger than both teams. You just are humbled as a coach and a player to step in that arena at that moment. You got to think about it. I've got coaches, most of our coaches have coached 20 years or more and have never been in this game. It's so hard to get to this game. So when you step on that field, you're humbled. I grew up wanting to be a part of this game, and at some point in time, I am going to look up, and I'm going to go back to being a 12-year-old kid for a second and just let the goosebumps happen and just enjoy the moment, because it's hard to get here. It's a fight to get here, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it, especially with this team. This has been by far one of the most special teams I've ever been associated with, and a group of guys that I dearly love, and this will be our last time together with some seniors that have not only had our team's back, but has had my back through some really tough times. So these are members of my family, and it's the last time you get to play a game with them. So to do that last game in the Rose Bowl, that's a story, that's a fairy tale in itself.